Hello, favorite seventh graders. Today I want to teach you how to use complementary and supplementary angles to find other unknown angles. Make this the title of the next free page in your math notebook. After you have done that, close it up, concentrate, and I'll let you know when it's time to open it again. All right, pause for a moment for me here, and I want you to remember what you know about angles. So pause first. You may have been several years since you've seen some of these terms, but before I talk about them a bit, please pause and see what you remember. So these are probably words you learned in fourth grade and probably last heard in fourth grade. So some reminders here. Right angles are 90-degree angles, and they are sort of called square angles too. They make like a perfect corner, so to speak. So looking at these ones here, they're often even marked with a square like this. So this would be a right angle in here. They don't have to be oriented this way. Sometimes you see them like this, but they're still that same corner if you like rotate it around. So that's a right angle. An acute angle is less than 90 degrees. So it's smaller than a right angle. So that would be one like, say, this. That would be an acute angle. If you kind of draw in where the right angle would be, that one's smaller in measurement. So that would be an acute angle. I don't see any other acute angles, actually. Obtuse angles are more than 90 degrees, and lots of these are obtuse angles. This one here is obtuse. If you drew in the right angle, it would be more, or oops, sorry about that, farther than 90 degrees. Go away. So with this one, it's more than 90 degrees. These ones are way more than 90. You'll notice these go even past a straight angle, which is next. This is very obtuse. So is this one. You'll notice this one, it's showing you that it's going all the way that far around. So there's like a right angle here, but an obtuse angle here. A straight angle is what it sounds like. It's like two right angles together if you imagine it, and they are 180-degree angles, and that would be an angle like that, called a straight angle. So acute, right, obtuse, straight. Probably been, several years since you heard those words. Wanted to bring them back to mind as we add to angles today. So what I want you to do right now is pause and explore a little bit. Today we're going to be talking about complementary angles and supplementary angles. And I want you to start with a little exploration to see what you notice. So I've put this link down in the comment or in the description of this video. What I want you to do is go to that link. I'll show you how it looks on my screen now. Oh, I'm gonna have to let me pause and expand my window here. Got it? It's gonna take you to a site that looks like this for some exploring. I want you to explore three things. Let me tell you what they all are first. First, when you push roll the dice, it just means kind of give you a random angle. And it'll show you one and it'll show you its measurement. So you can kind of, if you're not used to angle measurements, you can kind of spend some time getting used to obtuse, right? Oh, there's a 1 degree, very small, and so on. You can also, I think, grab it and adjust the angle somewhat there. So I want you to explore that. After you've just looked at a few angles and kind of got the hang of how they're measured and how they work, I want you to switch this to complementary. And I want you to see if you can get the hang of how complementary angles work. Again, you can get random ones, or you can kind of adjust them yourself. This one's hard to do, but this one, you can move this middle one a bit. And then I want you to do the same with supplementary angles. See if you can get the hang of what complementary and supplementary angles are and how they work before I even teach you. So pause this video now, go to this link down in the description of the video, and spend some time on complementary and supplementary angles before I talk about them. All right, we got some good exploration in. Let's get to it. I need to teach you 3 vocabulary words first today. If you are just previewing this and you're going to be in class tomorrow when I teach this in the class, you don't need to write this in your math notebook. If you're home sick or you're a student elsewhere who's not even in my class, you do need to write this in your notebook. First vocabulary word I want you to know today is adjacent angles. And adjacent angles are just two angles that have a common or a shared vertex, like these two angles share vertex B, and they have a common or a shared side. So here, if you look at these, this angle A, B, D right there is adjacent to angle C, B, D as well. This angle and this angle are what we would call adjacent. It just means they share a side and they share a vertex. So again, pause now and write that down if you are sick or not in my class or something like that. If you're gonna be in class tomorrow with me, I'm gonna give you a printout of this. Same thing here, vocabulary words. If you're home and gonna be at school tomorrow, don't worry about writing this down. I'll give it to you then. But if you are homesick or anything like that, write these down. So these things you just explored, complementary and supplementary angles. Here's what they mean. I hope you kind of got the hang of this playing with the angles on that applet. Complementary angles are special adjacent angles. I'm going to write that even on here. They're adjacent. They're special adjacent angles that add up to 90 degrees. So the two angles together, you'll notice, make a right angle. And their measurements add up to 90. So in this case, this 75-degree angle and this 15-degree angle make a 90-degree angle together. That's a complementary angle is what we call them in geometry. And supplementary angles, similar, they're also special adjacent angles. I'm even going to write special. I want you to write that too. They're special adjacent angles that add up to 180, and they make a straight angle together. So their shared vertex is there, and this 165-degree angle and this 15-degree angle together make a 180-degree angle, which is a straight angle, if you want to write that too. And these make a right angle together. So we're going to explore problems you can solve knowing about complementary and supplementary angles today. So close your notebook back up if you opened it. Let me show you some examples. Nothing too bad here. So let's start with a supplementary angle problem. So point Q is on this line L, and find the measure of angle SQT. So let's at least find what that is first. SQT is this angle right here. We want to know its measurement. So what I see, and it's even in my title here, supplementary angle, these two angles, this one and this one, are indeed supplementary angles. Together, they make a straight angle. And I know something about that, right? When I look at these, I say, oh, well, together, they make a 180-degree angle together. So if this part of the straight angle is 142, I can use that to figure out, well, what's the rest of it here to make 180? So that it's whatever's left, 180 minus the 142 that I already know is going to give me this angle SQT. So that would be, well, let me do that real quick, 38 degrees left, it looks like. So angle SQT, if it's 38 degrees, then 38 and 142 make 180. They're supplementary angles together. So we can just use this fact, even though it's not given to us, to figure out the other. We can do the same thing with complementary angles. Remember, complementary angles together make a right angle. So these are, so it says if the angles shown below are complementary, and I'm going to even write off to the side, that means they make a 90-degree or a right angle. What's the measure of angle Z? So you'll notice the number 90 is not in the question. You have to know that. You have to know when you seek the word complementary that that means together they make 90. So this doesn't always look like it, but if you kind of draw that in, you can say, oh yeah, that is indeed a right or a 90-degree angle. So if this whole thing here is a right angle, a 90-degree angle, and this part of it is 64, what's this other part to make the 90? And it works similarly to the last one. If I say, well, what's 90 minus 64? That's going to give me the rest of that angle. So that's going to be 26 degrees. And that looks about right. So if angle Z is 26 degrees, then we have a 90-degree angle together because 26 plus 64 make 90. All right, let's do two of those together. Open up your math notebook. There's going to be a supplementary one and a complementary one. So go ahead and pause here and write this one down first. All right, so you've got to remember something to solve this. Without measuring, what's the measurement of angle DCB right here, this one that's not given to us? What's the measure of that angle? Well, it seems impossible because we're not given enough information, like what's this whole thing? But we can use our eyes and we can use this fact we're given to know, well, if those are supplementary angles add up to 180. They make a straight angle. So all we have to do is a little basic math and we can figure that out. So if altogether, if ACB is a 180 degree angle, and 52 of that 180 is ACD here, then the rest is going to be that. So a little basic math, 8, 2, 1. We can figure out that angle DCB must be 128 degrees because 128 plus 52 make 180. So you need to pause and write that down. Go ahead. I hope that makes sense. That's how supplementary angles work. And on the next slide, we're going to do a similar problem with complementary angles, not much more complicated. So in this one, oh, this is also what we do. Angle STA and angle ATR are complementary. Remember, complementary means they make a 90 degree or a right angle. Without measuring, what's the measurement of angle STA? We're looking for this here. So the, oh, not that there, that was too much, just this part. So we have enough information to do this. That we're told STA and ATR are complementary. That means if we drew that in, well, we should have a right angle here. Together, those make a right angle. So if they're a right angle together, and that part's 25 degrees, then we're left with 65 degrees for the other part. Because if we're right, 65 plus 25 should be 90, and it is. So guys, that's how you use complementary and supplementary angles to find missing angle problems. This video had a lot of vocabulary in it, and if that kind of got you confused and made this difficult for you, go ahead and rewatch, and I think you'll be in great shape for class tomorrow if you do. If these words make sense and solving these problems worked out, I think you did a great job, and I'll see you tomorrow.